The opening of the bird's nest, Manu Kohanga, at Angatiti on the 7th of March 2015. Not a very nice day, but at least it's fine. New visitors arriving.
Well, I hope people are going to come a bit closer. Norm Brunning, isn't he? Never mind. He is a councillor from the Regional Council, and we wanted to acknowledge the Regional Council because over the years they have paid for the pest materials we use here for a long time. And people who are here, I know, are Keti Keti Rotary and Forest and Bird. These are the backbone of our project. And Forest and Bird staff, who are distinguished by their bright green jackets, are also here. And the Department of Conservation, in different places, who are our partners in this project. And this is Department of Conservation land, our shed is built on. And our builders, where's Ken and Blair are coming. They're the builders who did a terrific job. And last but not least, all the volunteers here, who are the people who make it happen. We are sorry that our patron, Pai Manakori, of the whānau of Te Rere Atakahia, cannot be here, and he sends his apologies. And we're also sorry that John Howard, who died last year, cannot be here to see this lovely shed, because he was our founding chairman and a stalwart conservationist, and he would have been delighted to see this. We're here to open our shed. Now, it seems a bit pretentious to talk about opening a shed, but this is more than a shed. This is a milestone in our forest restoration project. And because it is more than a shed, we have decided to also call it Kohanga, which means the nest, which we thought was particularly appropriate because our project is all about protecting birds. Now, the Restoration Trust was set up in 2006. We could see that the forest was declining. We could hear how silent it was getting, how little regeneration there was, how parts of the canopy were collapsing. And we knew what was the problem. The problem was pests. And the problem is pests all over the forest of mainland New Zealand. So our project had two aims. One of them was to draw attention nationwide to the problems of pests and get some action on it. And the second one was to do some work ourselves, to, put out our hands for a piece of forest that we particularly know and care about. Now, we're making progress on both fronts. It's partly due to our lobbying that the Kaimai Forum, which is a large community group, has been set up to look at all the issues facing the Kaimais. And here at Ongateti, we are making progress too. We started with 180 hectares, we expanded to 280, and then we were joined by a national project from Forest and Bird, which complements our Ongateti project. And now together we are managing 500 hectares, which is a very large lump of forest. And what we do is we have volunteers, most of you know all this, who put out rat bait and possum bait. And they also set traps hill traps for stoats. We tackle rats because they are the base of the pyramid of pests, and of course they're pests themselves, eating the seeds and the fruit and the birds' eggs and birds and the insects, and they're the food for the stoats. And we also tackle possums because they, besides eating things on the ground, are eating the trees And this is why we have quite a lot of dead red rata trees in our forest, killed by possums. Now we're beginning to see results. We've got saplings of koikoi and puri coming up, lots of seedlings coming up on the ground. The birds are more numerous, and we're particularly pleased with the robins. When we started, there was scarcely a robin up there. Now we have lots of robins, which is really pleasing. And the other unexpected bird, which we didn't think we would ever see, we weren't expecting to, was the rifleman, which had not been recorded in the Kaimais, and turned up. Of course, it must have been here, we didn't bring it, but with our pest control, we now have a number of riflemen in the area, and there is a family with 2 fledglings just near the lodge. And we're looking forward, now we've got our protected forest, to releasing an engaging bird, the North Island weka, which is a threatened species and of course a flightless species, which we will hopefully be able to establish with our pest control. Now we're making progress at Ongatiti, but we can't be too complacent about it, because we do know this is a very small forest in a very large area of forested land. There's no way volunteers like us can tackle these national issues. And we have to look to our civic leaders and our political leaders to empower DOC to do the big picture, the picture that where volunteers cannot carry their little bait bags. And we're delighted that the Kaimai Forum is actually now considering how to do widespread pest control in the Kaimais, and considering the issues around aerial 1080, which is the only effective way at present of doing it. And I'd like to say to our politician here, nothing like having a politician. National, he's shaking hands. Oh, the Mayor, oh. Good morning, Mr. Mayor. Oh, this is a little lecture towards you.
I just arrived out there, I thought I arrived just on time.
You've arrived just in time for my message, which is that pest control up in these forests is going to be a great help to the communities downstream because of the erosion control and the reduction in pollution in the rivers and the flood control. But to the national politicians, we are of course trying to save our native forests and their biodiversity. But more than that, by protecting the forest, we are creating a strong carbon sink, which will go a long way to reducing our carbon emissions. And we do like to say what a clean, green country we are, and pest control would make this true. Turning to Ongatiti, with Saturday after Saturday, our volunteers have gone up there with their bags of bait. They've got them out of the back of a trailer, trudged up the hill, and they've come back, scuttled into their cars because it's often raining, and shot off. And now our volunteers can come here, collect their bags, off they go into the forest, and when they come back, there'll be a cup of tea for them, they can sit down and talk to their friends, they can use the excellent toilet that's around the corner, and this, we have become a group of friends, and this is such a wonderful facility for us all, and for everybody who walks up into the forest. So this will be a well-used facility, it already is, and we are so grateful for it. And so I'm now going to ask the Mayor, Ross Patterson, here he is, who, as I said, Western Bay is the major sponsor here, to say a few words. Ross Patterson.
But welcome to the top of the road. This is the weather that we quite often get up here. It's great. This is what we want, a bit of rain, get over the dry, but also keep the countryside fresh and keep the animals in good condition. Look, we're here today for a little celebration, and it's pretty important. We're here to recognise those people who do so much as a volunteer to look after our environment, and specifically up here at Ongatiti and the restoration of the bush that we have here. Yesterday morning I was in Kati Kati at the Bio Blitz opening. 300 people there for 24 hours just looking at what we've got from the mountains to the sea in our rivers, mainly Uratara, and putting up a whole evidence-based database that we can refer to now of how we're going to look after our district, especially that area, and how we're going to match economic growth with the environment, because that's one of the big debates that always carries on. Up here you're very clear on what you want to do. You want to restore the bush in this area, and you have been for some period of time now working with Doc and Forest and Bird in helping to save in many ways. The trap lines and the work that you do that Ian's just spoken about is one of the most obvious, but there's a whole range of things that you do. But the other part about today is, and you do have a communications sector, you must take what you've done here today, get it into the local paper so that the general community at large is aware of what you're doing up here and have an appreciation and understanding of the work that's involved. Because I think there's times when you've come up here, you've left Keti Keti or Tauranga, and it's a beautiful, fine, sunny day, but it's not up here. And you're still challenged, though, to go forth, do your trap lines, do your bait lines, clean your traps, and all that work. And you do it without any reward. You do it for your passion that you have, and the enthusiasm that you have for the environment up here, and for the general well-being of the district. And that's quite incredible, because it is demanding work at times. And I think my notes show that you started with 250 acres, went to 500 acres, and now you're looking to go further. So that puts a real demand on capacity, people. And I've got to say, some of us are like myself, we're not as fit as we used to be. But we still get out there and take a bag of them back and just get out and service the lines and do what we need to do. So it was no problem for us as a council, Western Bay, to step forward when it was first mooted that a facility like this would be of great use up here, and we could see how it could support the people who used to come up in the cars and then get from there, jump into their wet leather gear and head off into the bush. This gives you the opportunity for a bit of relaxation, catch up beforehand. It gives you a centre and allows you to have some respite afterwards when you come back in, especially if it's a cup of tea or coffee, that sort of things. And the toilet, I suppose most of us in the bush think otherwise, but you do have a specific toilet here for your use and facility, fair enough, and appreciate that. So could I thank you for here today and for the work that you've done. We're going back 10 years or more, I believe now, at least. And there's a whole range of people, and some are no longer able to come up and be part of this, but to them I say thanks. Could I welcome those here from both central government, I see Todd's here and Scott, my councillors, certainly our community board, but the community at large. Very important that you're here in such strong numbers. So I really appreciate seeing so many of you here to be part of this. And of course there is a whole range of other people. The initiative was firstly from Tauranga Forest and Bird and Keti Kati Rotary. But to Basil and Nan, the work that they've done, thank you for that. To the late John Howard, everybody remembers John. He just went up the road a while back to pass our condolences and say goodbye to him. But he was really enthusiastic and very keen on this area and what the work that's being done here. Appreciation to Nigel Williams. I understand Nigel's not here, he's got other demands. Is that right? Yes. To Al Fleming, Forest and Bird. Scanning around to see if some of these people are here. To Ken and Blair Beatty, managers of the Hutton Building of the Hutton Trust. Barry Petheridge, Operations Manager. Mark Boyles, voluntary contractor. The Stoke Busters. That's a great name. Thank you to them, Department of Conservation, and of course the Ongatiti Outdoor Education Centre Trust, which is next door. So really, between the council, and could I say to all those people thank you, but also for those, there are many whose names I haven't personally got and mentioned. But thank you to the work that you do individually and how you help us here. Te nama Tamawhara, Hakiaki of the bush. Another part of it for local landowners. It's important that we work with them and bring them along because they are the guys who need we're not here. It's also a big thanks to the B.A. Lewis Charitable Trust also for contributions and cost into this facility and to my staff, two of them here, for the work that they've done to get to this stage. Beautiful facility, I know it will be well used. Appreciate the support that you're giving it, and I would say that this will actually probably foster more people to be involved. You get facilities like this, it's a bit like the fire brigade, you give them a new tanker. A whole lot more people join. But you must reward people for what they do, and this is one way that we do it with the council. So to everybody, congratulations. I think it's a good morning like this. It's true to what we've got up here a day like this. It's ideal for what we do, but it does signify that we can be out in the elements, and a building like this is much appreciated by all of you. But thank you for your support.